Hey guys, Prop Holiday here with an overview of Game 1 and a look ahead to Game 2 in the series and just the series overall. So some key takeaways from Game 1s from me from the NBA Finals, and I'm just going to go right into it. So to me, it became very evident early on that the Bucks, they just don't have enough guys bench-wise to compete in this series. So we know that the Suns, they get fits from small ball. We saw that with the Clippers having a lot of success. The Bucks just don't have the personnel for that. You know, they have the big body guys in Brook Lopez and Giannis. They have PJ Tucker who can switch, so he's a good small ball piece. But in general, I don't think they have the personnel to match up with the Suns. Lopez continues to be a sore spot, and he gets targeted defensively on switches if anyone's picked up on that. Obviously, the Hawks did this, but he simply can't handle Ayton. He goes for 22 points on 80% from the field. And then, so you do get the switch. Now, he tries to come out on a guard with Booker and CP3, and he either gets blown by or he plays so far off of them that he leaves a wide open three. And the Bucks in general, they just kind of sag off the 3-point line. They're one of the worst defensive teams for the three-pointer this year. So what do the Bucks do? They throw Bobby Portis out there, and Bobby Portis kind of charges the 3-point line, thinking he can pick up the guard, and he just gets blown by. It was pretty entertaining to watch, but I don't think they have a very good matchup for what this Suns team brings. So in Game 2, I expect Budenholzer, which is probably the wrong thing to do, is to expect anything from Bud. To see more Portis, more Bryn Forbes, and more Pat Connaughton, and then Giannis at the 5, which is really his more natural position where he has the most success. They're going to try to attempt a small ball lineup is my guess. On the injury front, Dario Saric tore his ACL. I think that opens the door for more Cam Johnson minutes, which we saw last night, who played quietly a really great game. And he shot the ball efficiently. He actually defended Giannis well later in the game. It was a big key possession in the fourth quarter. He was able to swat the ball away and get a turnover. So I expect Cam Johnson to get some minutes bump. I haven't seen it yet, FanDuel, but if you can get a Cam Johnson over 1.5 three-pointer line, I love that line. You could probably get it at plus odds, at least early in the series. So keep an eye out for Cam Johnson lines. I love his play in this series. Let's hope we never see Frank Kaminsky again in the NBA Finals. He was great in Wisconsin. This is not for him. He looked lost out there, nervous, I would say, and you can expect that from anyone in their first NBA Finals. Almost his probably first couple minutes in the postseason. But that's when Milwaukee went on their big run in the first half with Kaminsky on the floor. So I don't think we see much of him. We get this down to 2 8-man rotations. So in Game 2. I expect more Portis, Forbes, and Connaughton with Giannis at the 5, and then Lopez, I expect his minutes to be cut. If Giannis takes another step and gets more shots off, then you don't need Lopez on the offensive front, which is really all he was offering in Game 1. And then from the Sun side, Cam Johnson, Torrey Craig, and Cam Payne, those are your 8-man rotations. Again, I love Cam Johnson. Torrey Craig is kind of the Suns' version of PJ Tucker. He gave Paul George fits last series. I expect him to come out and give Chris Middleton some fresh minutes off the bench, try to rattle him a little bit. And Cam Payne's really stringing together a nice postseason. He'll get a contract next year. He's slashing. He's actually made some contested threes in the postseason so far. He usually spills Chris Paul more in the first half, but these are your 8 guys. You're looking at 8-man rotations, and because it's the finals, I don't think it gets much deeper than that. My expectation for the series is still Suns in 6. I don't think that the Bucks have the personnel to really match up with what the Phoenix Suns offer. They've been the most complete team this entire season. They've been one of the healthiest teams this entire season, with the exception of Saric last night in his ACL. But yeah, my guess is Suns in 6. And with that, I want to look ahead to Game 2 with my plays for Thursday night. So my first one, my favorite one, get it while you can. PJ Tucker over 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's minus 115. So in 9 games this postseason that he's seen 30 minutes, he's hit this in 6 of them. 4 of his top 5 scoring outputs this playoffs have all been on the road. He's gotten 7+ in 4 of his 5 on the road. He saw 33 minutes in Game 1, and he's going to be needed every night. That way Giannis can play the 5, and also PJ Tucker, his value is he can switch. He can switch out on Chris Paul. He can switch out on DeAndre Ayton if he has to. He can play Mikal Bridges. He's that Swiss Army knife that allows them to play small. So I think he's going to be on the court 30-plus minutes a game this series. He's always been comfortable with the corner three. He's good for one a game. I think we're going to see his rebound numbers take a bigger hit, not a bigger hit, a bigger spike in Game 2 than we saw in Game 1. But P.J. Tucker, over 11.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's minus 115. This is my favorite play of Game 2. If I feel great about anything, it's that P.J. Tucker's going to be on the floor for the Bucks a majority of the game because he needs to be. Looking at my second play for Game 2, a little bit more of a riskier one. But it's Giannis. It's Giannis over 11.5 rebounds. There's some chalk on this. It's minus 138. He's hit this in 11 of 16 postseason games. You would think the injury, it would kind of slow him down. They spread his minutes a little bit in the first quarter last night. They took him out early on, I think at like the 7-minute mark, something like that. He still played 35 minutes on the night. He claims he felt good. I saw him jumping and attacking the basket. I'd take his word for it. He looked good. He wasn't shooting as many jumpers. He wasn't slashing as much as he normally does. His shot attempts were fairly low, but he was rebounding and he was playing the 5, which I believe is his most natural position, and where he'll be the most dominant in this series. He made DeAndre Ayton look like a child a couple times last night, if anybody saw it. He's playing the paint. I trust him enough to say if he feels good in what I saw in Game 1, he's going to see another 35 minutes. 11 over 11.5 rebounds is a great number for him. Again, he's hit this in 11 of 16. It is minus 138 right now. This line is probably going to jump up to 12.5 for plus money. I don't know if I like it there, but I like the 11.5 rebounds for now, with him kind of settling into that 5 role, and Chris Middleton taking over the key scoring role. In general, a couple props to just look out for over the course of the series. Any Chris Paul or Devin Booker 3-point props. And I say this because the Milwaukee Bucks ranked 24th in the regular season against 3-point percentage. They give up 37, almost 38% from the field. They don't defend the 3-pointer well in general. They play too much in the paint, defending perimeter. They kind of sag off and lay back. So if someone like Chris Paul, he's over 2.5 3-pointers at plus 148 in Game 2. I love that play. Chris Paul shooting 73% from deep over the last 2 games. Same thing with Devin Booker. These two guys are going to shoot a very large volume of threes. We're talking anywhere from 7 to 9 attempts per game. Their lines are going to be in around 2.5. And if you look at Milwaukee, how they defend the 3, it's just not great. So again, shorter rotations, a lot more minutes for these key guys, for the Chris Pauls and the Devin Bookers. They're not going to see the bench much outside of a couple minutes in the first half. They're likely not going to come out much in the second half. So watch their 3-point lines. Anything over 2.5, if you can get it at plus money, I'd be all over it. I do expect Jay Crowder to bounce back. The 10.5 points is a little bit high for me because he's just too streaky, but he's going to go off at least one game. In general, I haven't seen a Cam Johnson line yet. If you can get a Cam Johnson 3-pointer line, all over it. Please, green light, get a Cam Johnson 3-point line. It's probably going to be over 1.5 because I think he's going to see anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes in this series. Those are my plays. Those are my leans. It is, for me, it's Phoenix in 6. Make sure you're following BettorOff Sports. Keep following me on Twitter. I'm going to be posting almost daily. I'm live tweeting during the games. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching, and best of luck, guys. Let's hit a big one. All right, everybody, take care. Bye bye.